Hey,
Hi, President Morishima.
oh, good afternoon, Vice President Essien.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you? I did not realize my hair looked like that. It's awful, actually. Oh, Mari would be disappointed.
Where are you at the moment?
So I'm in this random office in the CIL office, actually.
Oh, okay.
Do I need to button this more? That's fine. How's your Monday been?
I was gonna say it's fine, but you're gonna say I want more than fine. So I'm gonna give you three adjectives and a verb.
Oh, and a verb. I get a verb this time. That's exciting.
So it was fun. It was long. Um, I'd say it was very tiring at some point. And then I'd say my verb is that it is it keeps you going. Like I don't know, it keeps you gives you something to look forward to. So.
Yeah, you gotta keep moving forward. Good to hear it.
I'm coming. I'll be
You,
right back.
hmm?
I'm coming. I'll be right back.
Yeah, cool, same.
Wait, Emmanuel, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I see. Where's Madam Claire? Hey,我唔係靠人，我唔怕多數。Okay.
I don't,
Stop.
I know, right? See, I'm going to stop sharing my screen so that
Hey, wait, I bet you know the. Oh, we didn't.
I mean, relax, but nobody is better ID. So,
I'm going to do spend it. Over it.
I mean, it'd be your.
Over it. Where's the YouTube link?
I sent you the link. I sent the link to the messenger group. Did you see it?
Um,
I mean, I can send it to you directly right now.
I think I don't know. Wait. I think I can see it. Yep,
Okay.
I see it. What is a YouTube link?
I sent the link. I sent the link to the messenger group. Can you see it?
A church.
I mean, I can send it to you. If you mute them,
Wait. I think I can see it. Yep. I don't want to share my screen. Oh, why you disable? I don't want to share my screen.
you, Omar, pause the YouTube. Mute the YouTube video. Mute them. The messenger group. Can you see it?
A church.
The YouTube video. Mute them. The messenger.
Hey, Omari. Hey, Ella.
Hi, Claire.
Hello.
Looking nice, Omari.
Thank you.
Wait, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Testing.
Wait, did you say something?
Hi. Wait, can you hear me or you can't hear me?
What?
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Oh,
Ella.
Mari,
He's
really?
messing.
Is that Ella?
Oh my god.
Mm.
Omari,
Hi.
I do have to say, that does not look like your Senate shirt.
This is not my signature.
Emmanuel is going to have a talk with you after this meeting
Oh my god. Why?
for your professionalism and appearance.
We are not supposed to wear our signature today, are we?
Are we?
No, that was for last week.
Emmanuel,
We are supposed to.
we are. It was in the email.
No, he quickly run.
Turns off camera. Oh, I'm sorry. I need to mute myself whenever I crack my knuckle.
Hold up, Emmanuel.
Yeah, what's up?
Please, do you have everything to go or do I have to share anything on my screen?
Oh no, I'm gonna share my screen. If you want, I can just share it up so you would see how it.
Okay, cool. That'll be fine. Thank you.
Okay.
Is no one else like joining the meeting? Or are people in the waiting room?
So I bring everyone who's in the waiting room here. So Brandon just entered, but apart from that, there's no one in the waiting room.
Ah. We should encourage people to come early and chat.
Yeah, Ella, is this okay?
Yeah, that's perfect. Thank you.
Cool.
Hey, Brandon.
Happy birthday to
To you.
Wait, Claire,
Yes.
why is Emmanuel wearing a blazer?
Sorry, is it a Blazer Week, Emmanuel? I didn't see that on the agenda.
yeah,
He just
Amari.
wanted us to see that he has changed his shirt.
yep.
Oh, come on.
And also, in my defense, when you wear the blazer, it covers the badge. The
Yeah. Your name tag.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Wait, who's that? Oh, Justice.
Howdy.
Howdy. Is that your Senate shirt?
It is.
Ah, wow. Beautiful. Love the uniformity. Who that is.
Are we supposed to take a picture of all of us in our our senator shirts?
We do eventually. That's a good thing to bring up with AJ. I'm gonna write that on her to-do list. Thanks for reminding me.
Glad I could help.
Yes, but the answer is yes. Wow. Beautiful. Hello? Wait, who's that? Oh, that was me. Hey, Sean. Hey, Isaac.
Howdy.
I definitely haven't been spying on y'all on the YouTube one, forgetting that I wasn't actually in it.
Did you hear me give you a little shout out?
I mean, I was there when Amari had the wrong shirt on.
Oh, okay. I just put something on your planner. Justice reminded us that we haven't taken our Senate pictures yet.
Well, until today, we didn't have all the shirts.
Wait, yeah, you're right. But I put it on your planner.
Well, once everybody has their shirts, which honestly, now that they're all here, we should be able to do it next week.
Yeah, cool. Just put it on the agenda. Okay, we have 1 minute left. Do we have everyone here? Oh, so many people with their cameras off. Come on, you know what to do. You know what to do. Let's see those beautiful faces.
Grab a picture on YouTube so everybody smile, just in case you're on there. And then it will have a delayed reaction, so I'll have to wait a minute. But
Gotcha.
hi, Kathy.
Hey, y'all, Amari, Jesse, Brandon, if you could turn on your cameras, we will be taking AJ's gonna take a picture of us.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it on Zoom because originally I was gonna do it on YouTube so that okay, here's the link, but then there's a huge delay and I'm not gonna be able to get everyone smiling. So we're gonna do it on Zoom. Okay. No, wait.
Brandon, we're taking a picture, just smile.
Okay.
Okay, we good?
Give me a sec, I'm looking at it. Claire, you might also want to grab one. Send it to me and we'll see which one's better because you have a better camera. Mine
Okay, sounds good.
does the details for computers, you know, from the
Okay, cool. Welcome everyone who's just joining. If you could, please turn on your camera. We're just gonna take a picture of everybody smiling before you get started. So if you could turn on your camera, and you don't have to smile yet. We're still waiting for Omari, Bria, and JB to turn on their cameras. And then, okay, everyone has their camera on, so let's just smile. So ready? Okay, thank you everyone. I think we got a good picture.
Cool.
And cool. So now meeting is called to order, and we will now hear our prayer devotional from Senator Akempong.
Wow, I feel so honored. So hi everyone. Today's devotional is low-key is taken from a women's journal for devotion for women, but I feel like this, oh, can everyone hear me? I feel like this speaks to everyone. So do I have to pray first? Should I pray first?
You don't have to. You can
Okay.
honestly just whatever you want to do. Your time.
So cool. So I feel like everyone kind of knows this story. It's taken from Luke chapter 10, verse 38 to 39. And the reason why this spoke to me was because as students and as senators, we realized that we always try to do it all. I don't know about you, but I feel like a lot of people who are here to study sometimes try to do it all. So this is a tale of two sisters, and the one we're going to specifically focus on the ones that are highlighted. Okay. So have you ever tried to do it all? I have, I do, and I probably always will. It's not only in my nature, it's also in my job description and yours too. So like as senators, it's in our job description to actually put in our best and do what we can to help the student body. However, we realized in the story that, you know, Martha was the one who was always busy. She's like, I'm cooking, I'm cleaning, the Savior is in my house. And Mary was just like, the Savior is here. Let me sit and let me listen, you know? And that was the difference, because she went up to Jesus and she was so upset. And she was like, hey, Mary, I'm doing all this work. You're not doing anything. And that what you're doing is not important, you know? And Jesus said that actually what you are doing is not important. And what she is doing is like the best thing to have done because I'm here. I'm just paraphrasing. Okay, so we know that as Christians or as individuals, there's always a hunger, a calling to know and to love God, to actually know Jesus Christ and fellowship with the Holy Spirit. You're not after more head knowledge. It's more of a heart-to-heart intimacy that you long for. So a lot of us are keeping busy by studying, making friends, or just trying to do everything else but the word. However, in this story, we realize that in order for us to grow as Christians and to love God and to actually work for him, it's about your heart-to-heart interaction with him, and not necessarily what you're doing because of him, but you need to have an interaction with Jesus in order to do what you have to do in the kingdom. So you can be running around trying to do everything, but you are exhausted because you're not doing what God has called you to do. You're doing the extra stuff. But when we sit under Jesus's feet, or when we follow Jesus, we'll actually realize that we'll find our true purpose, and we'll stop doing the run around and be more focused in our walk with God. And that's basically what all the highlighted sections of this text are talking about. And if you have more time, I'll just suggest that go read Luke 10:38 to 42. Sorry, 38 to 39, basically, and meditate upon it, because as senators, we need to know what the goal is and not necessarily focus on the things that are trying to distract us from the main meal, which is God, and how we can help the student body through the gospel. Yeah, so if you don't mind, can we please bow our heads in prayer? So Heavenly Father, thank you so much for this devotional that you have placed in our lives. Thank you so much for this word. Thank you so much for also telling us that even though sometimes we try to do it all and try to do the extra things that are not concerning your kingdom and not concerning you. We ask for forgiveness today. We do pray that as senators and as students of Calvin University, that we will fall in alignment with your word, and we would sit at your feet and listen to everything that you have to tell us and not necessarily what we are trying to tell you, oh God. Thank you so much for your presence in this meeting. I pray that may this meeting be one of conciseness, and may we not focus on things that are extraneous, but may we focus on the main goal, which is to help the students at Calvin whilst walking in your word. Thank you, God, for everything you've done for us. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Thank you, Ella. That was a great devotion. It's a good reminder of just to, keep focused on God despite all the busyness of our life. So I appreciate that. Next, VP Essien is going to lead us in, or not lead us, he's going to take roll.
Yep. So thank you very much, Ella, for sharing once again. So you guys know the drill. So please, when you hear your name, kindly shout, respond present, so I know you're here. So President Murashima.
Oh, I'm here. I just muted myself.
Vice President Essien. Present. Vice President Rob.
Present.
Vice President Feed.
Present.
Vice President Nyako.
Present.
Team Leader Konis.
Present.
Good. Team Leader Rai.
Present.
I'm sorry, I can't see everyone. So
Present.
sweet. Team Leader Solomon.
Present.
Senator Champon.
Present.
Yeah, you just gave a devotional. Senator David.
Present.
Senator Debu.
Present.
Senator De Martinez Ferrero. Senator Ibeku.
Present.
Senator Harris.
Present.
Senator Hunake.
Present.
Senator Electors.
Present.
Senator Nyanyo.
Present.
Senator Pennon.
Present.
Senator Perumal.
Present.
Senator Schmidt.
Present.
Senator Saylor.
Present.
Senator Young.
Present.
And the last but not the least, our own advisor, Advisor Britton.
Present.
Sweet. We have a full house, guys.
Awesome. Thank you, VP Essien, for taking our role. Now we're going to approve the minutes from last week. If you oppose to this, say, I oppose. Beautiful. The minutes have been passed, and now we will move on to our new business today. First up, we have a budget hearing from VP Essien. He's going to share a little bit about where we are at with the budget, as well as an update. So, Emmanuel, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Sorry, I sort of froze there. My network isn't that good. So, welcome you guys. So, again, before I start, I was just gonna say happy belated birthday to Jessica Pennon and happy birthday to Brandon. We are very glad to have you guys here. And before I share my screen and talk about budgets, I'd just like to say, so one of our core values is, transparent communication. And given that we want to work towards that goal, I decided to sort of give a budget hearing every month, at the end of every month, so we know where we are at. We believe that in our transparency, we will work effectively, and it is more of our quest to be vulnerable and authentic. So I'm going to share my screen a bit, and we're going to talk about money. All right, so before I say anything, I just want to point out that, it's now open in the air, it's now known, but every line item in every student org had been cut off by 20%. So it is a huge blow, but we started at this semester with $3,200, but we were cut off by 20% in total. So now our total right here is $2,560. So as you can see, the effects in every line item. For instance, t-shirts, we had $500 allocated to t-shirts, but 20% of that's 100. So now we're left with 400. We had $450 for retreat, but with 20% off, we have like 360 left. So this all amounts to our new total, which is 2,560. Now moving on to the purchase we've made so far. So we paid $40.89 for shirts. These are for the freshman t-shirts. We paid we bought actually Amazon gift card. They were 4. So 3 here, which makes 45, and 1 here making it 15. So the first 3 were meant to we give it to students who tagged Senate's post, like in our quest to be more public. And then the last Amazon gift card we bought was to advertise the town hall meeting, the Safe Return town hall, meeting, so people will attend that event. And the next, we have a bunch of purchases from the Campus Clear Incentive Project. This is Team Corners. This is a freshman team, I believe. They bought raffle ticket, they bought ramen and candy, they bought hot chocolate, and yeah. And the next item is groceries and food order. That is the amount we spent on retreat. So we spent $319.64 on retreat. We, as you all know, we ordered food. We, the first day we had to go grocery shopping to, cook ourselves. And we also had to buy some stuff like balls and, just to play with and stuff. I have the receipt. So if you want to go the extra mile and be transparent, please feel free to come to me. I'll have to talk about it. And the next item is we have shirts. So these are the button-down shirts. So these are the freshman shirts. It costs $178 for the 6. And yeah, that is Amazon gift card. And then the last but not the least purchase we've made so far was the Pete's vouchers. This is for the Coffee with Puffy. This is something that VP Rap oversees. So that cost $196. So in total, in total, we spent $1,731.57 this September. So checking the statistics, before I go to statistics, let's just go to the budget. So yeah, apart from the Pete's voucher that is yet to be recorded here, everything is over here if you just want to cross-check. But we do have the t-shirts, we have the Amazon gift card here, we have the raffle ticket, the Suckers, the Hot Cocoa Mix, the Campus Clear incentive projects used. We have the food order for the retreats. Then we have the Senate shirts, and apparently this purchase didn't go through, the 200 foam cups. And I learned this is for, this is for the freshman team. It was part of the Campus Club project. I didn't go through. So I actually made a comment. So tomorrow I'm gonna go with a message that shows that the transaction failed, so they take it off. But yeah, and the last but not the least is the Amazon gift card I spoke about. So back to the budget. So we spent $1,731.57, and so yeah, about the budget cuts. So we initially had 8,000 for long-term projects, but with the budgets being reduced, we actually have 5,000 now. So we were just initially given 5,000 for long-term projects instead of 8,000. So the Campus Clear app, the teams were actually budgeted to have $250, but then they ended up using $136.96. So we deduct that, that was left with 7,863. But just recently, we received word that we would rather be given 5,000 for the 8K. So actually, let me rename this. Yep, so we have 5K now instead of 8K. So when you deduct 13,000, that gives us a whopping amount of 4,863. So that is where we're at with the 8K right now.
Emmanuel, why did this come out of the 8K and not out of our services line item?
So initially, I was hoping it was going to come out from the line item, but when I checked the purchase, it was under here, and it was too late for me to actually, it's not too late, but I can actually go back to correct it. But when I checked the line item, it came from here. So this is something I need to sit down with the team leader and discuss it. But yeah, I also feel that this should have come out from maybe service or programming. So this is what we have right now. So checking the statistics. let's just say it is good to have a lot of greens at the moment. So far in September, we've spent zero for, I mean, elections not applicable because there's no elections happening this year. We spent zero for covenants, we spent zero for office supplies, we spent 319.64 for retreat. And red means that, you know, we're actually almost, that amount is almost done because we're given 360. Yeah, so that's what the red stands for. If it's light red, it means that it is, how do you call it, halfway. So t-shirts, we have 400 and we spent 218 so far for the freshman shirts. So yeah. And revenue is the amount, how do you call it, is the amount VP Rob spent to buy the, how do you call it, the PETS vouchers. Now, usually we're given $500 each semester, which amounts to 1K. But before we made this purchase, we had that mindset and we bought it. So we spent, I mean, almost 1K for this. But then with the budget cut, we're actually told we're going to have 400 each month. So that amounts to 800. Now, we went overboard. So that is 996, but we went overboard. So usually, what you do is you buy the whole thing of the first semester, and then you pay the 500 left, and then the amount left is, how do you call it, is outstanding balance, and you pay that when the next semester comes. So for this, we're gonna pay 400 now, but then we're gonna have to pay the remaining 596 next semester. And given that the budget was cut before, given that we made this purchase before the budget was cut, we actually need to talk and readjust. We'll probably, maybe the cabinet or JB, I don't know, we need to talk and we would readjust and, how do you call it, some of the figures, but that's what we have so far. And before I made the corrections on the 5K, we spent 136.96 on the 5K. So our huge expense for the month of September came from revenue. That was 62.5%. And the next item was retreat. As you see, that was our next budget, our next biggest, how do you call it, purchase we made. And followed by the t-shirts. That was just for the freshman t-shirts. And yeah, promotional was the, how do you call it, was the Amazon gift card we bought. So there's amounts. When you add these two, it amounts to these right here. So yeah, that is amount 1,731.57 cents, which is equal to the amounts right here. So, and yep, so far so good. That is September, and we are starting October with everything reset. So if you have any questions.
Are there, I'm gonna open the floor for questions now. So just comment. Honestly, I think it would probably be easier if you, Adelaide, was that a hand I saw? You can just raise your hand, but since I can't see everybody on this, then you can comment if I missed it.
I'll probably stop sharing then. Is that okay?
Go for it. And then Adelaide, did you have a question?
I did. Thank you, AC and Emmanuel, for that presentation. I'm confused by what the difference between 8K and 7K and 5K are. Like, oh, that was a bit confusing to me. Could you clarify?
Yes, exactly. So before the semester starts, we have like sort of budget to, you know, to fund, how do you call it, to fund the normal Senate expenses. So that's what we had, 3,200 to start with. But then aside from that, we do get 8,000 from administration to partake, you know, long-term projects. Like the Fab Pit last year came out from the 8K. Because if we were to spend the 3,200 on such projects, we would be done even before it's done, even before we reach half of, like, you know, through the semester. So that amount is meant for long-term projects. But then this semester, budget cuts, we're getting 5K instead of 8K. So that 5K is there right now with the, what do you call it, with a purchase of 139.96, which is for the freshman team. That's the amount they used. And then we have 3,200 on the other side. That is what retreat came up from. That is what the Amazon gift card came from. That is what the t-shirts were paid from. So they had to. Yeah.
Cool. And then Isaac has a question.
Yeah, two things. How are long-term projects and short-term projects differentiated from each other in terms of the budget? And then was that $996, is that all towards the coffee vouchers, or how does, like, is that a recurring expense that we're going to have every year? Is that what I'm understanding?
Yeah, before I moved to the coffee and 996 amount he spent on the Pete's vouchers, Isaac will talk more about that. But then you asked whether long-term and short-term, what is the difference, right? So I would say short-term is, any project that, how do you call it, you partake during your tenure on Senate and the last during just your tenure. But long-term projects will be defined as projects that even when you're off Senate, it still benefits Calvin, like even regardless of your year. So like the fire pit project is going to benefit Calvin even though last year's mate did it. So that is what long-term project is. And talking about the Pete's vouchers, we usually get 500 from Cheryl Branson, right, Isaac, if that is correct? Yeah, we get $500 each semester, which amounts to 1K per year. So that's what we use to how do you call it, to buy Pete's vouchers to talk with your professor, just go on like not on a date per se, but just to discuss and stuff. So it's usually called Take Your Professor Out, but because of COVID and stuff, we also came up with a very fancy name, Coffee with Profi. So yeah.
Just to clarify about that too, it's actually not costing us $1,000. It's actually costing us $500. So Emmanuel will add the $500 of revenue that the provost gave us to help cover the cost of that. So she's covering half the cost. We're covering half the cost. So it's the long-term project cost is $500 per semester.
Yeah.
Right. And now Omari has a question.
Thank you very much, Claire. Emmanuel, during your presentation, there was like a slide where you shared everything we spent and you color coded it to like green or red or light red, just so we know how much you are spending. But is there like a link or a document where we can get so that we can actually see the actual amount of money we have, so that if we spend like $250 out of $500 that we have for this semester, is there a document like that?
Yes, please. So that's in the Senate Drive. I think it's titled Senate Finances 2020-2021. There's a link that takes you to the actual budget recording that the CIL office uses. We aren't meant to edit that. They edit that themselves. But then on that Excel sheet, there's another tab that says fall semester expenses. That is what we edited just so we keep track. So at the end, we can reconcile with the amount in the CIL office sheet. So there's a link like that. And all these are on the Senate Drive. Everything I shared today was on the Senate Drive. So.
Yes, thank you, Emmanuel. If you guys have further questions, feel free to shoot him an email. You have his email. It's E25 if you forgot. But now we have a proposal from Team Rye. So I think we're gonna so we have a presentation and then we're gonna break out into like small groups, I believe, and discuss this and come back. So Celestina, how long do you think your presentation is? Is it like about 10 minutes?
Approximately, I think. And today, Jessica and Sarah will be presenting for us.
Great. The floor is yours, Team Rye.
So I'm going to share my screen. That is the understanding we had, right? Awesome.
Okay, so this is just our project for outdoor fitness. So the project summary is that we want to offer one or more in-person fitness classes that would be free to students. We would want to do this from 4 to 5 p.m. on Tuesday and Thursday. Since the kinesiology department already has yoga on Monday and Wednesday, we figured that since some of those people might be interested, that Tuesday and Thursday would be the best option. We'd want to pursue like dance fitness specifically, because it's been very popular in the past and could now be even more popular since a lot of dance clubs and like Dance Guild and stuff like that are canceled or have been moved online.
I can cover this one, Jesse. So we've looked into the cost of this. This is pretty like hypothetical, depending on if we were to hire student leaders or a professional instructor. We've gotten advice both ways, but if we continued with this project, we would look into that more. The cost to students would be free. Group fitness instructors, like professional instructors, would be around $50 per class or per hour, because the class is an hour long. And this would make a one semester class cost $650 per semester. If we paid student instructors, this could be cheaper. He said the most he ever paid for a student instructor was a girl that taught for I think around 4 years, and he paid her maybe 20 an hour, but we would not be paying this much. It would be a lot less if we had student instructors, but then again, we could look into that, exactly what that would cost if we kept going. He did, although, recommend professional instructors because they're better at engaging participants and getting a bigger following, especially because they can stay there for like a few years, even if this project really takes off and does well.
So our game plan is that you can currently have 9 people in an indoor space and over 25 outdoors. We were comparing that to yoga, who they when they're inside they have 9 indoors, and when they are outside they have like more than 25. So the things that we
got changed, by the way, Jesse. So that got moved up to 20 starting this weekend.
Okay, yeah, I was one of the bullet points here says reevaluate when indoor guidelines change. They were going to change on October 9, but I guess they've already changed earlier, so that's awesome. We would also contact staff to find alternative indoor spaces, gauge student interest, and determine which fitness leaders we would want to do, whether we want to do professional or students, and what the budget would be for that. And then our proposal is just, I'm proposing that Student Senate allows Team Rye to allocate time to pursue outdoor fitness opportunities on campus.
All right, so thank you for that proposal. We are now going to do breakout rooms, and so in the past we've done like a big group discussion with the floor, but we realized that like a lot of people had similar questions and it wasn't the most time efficient. So now Emmanuel is going to break us up into our teams with like our Senate teams, and then we're going to discuss for 5 minutes, and then everybody's going to come back. If you don't have any questions, that's awesome, and I'm glad that you understand it. If you do have questions, then we will open the floor for questions and discussions. But yeah, now we're going to go into breakout rooms. And Emmanuel, are we going to do it by teams, or are we going to have some members of the team in each of the breakout rooms?
I could actually move each member to the teams, but right now I have every team in their small rooms, so I think we can do that first. And
great.
All right, so we'll be back at 5:03 if that is correct, right?
Yes.
All right, see you all soon.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Hope everyone's discussion was fruitful. I believe we also have Andrew Burt joining us. Hello, Andrew. He will be presenting at 5:10, so welcome, and you can feel free to just chill out for a little bit, but we are still voting on a proposal that we had a few minutes ago. Do we have any team missing? No? Okay, cool. So now I'm going to open the floor for discussion about the proposal from Team Rye. So the floor is now open. Feel free to raise your hand and I'll call on you. And if I'm not seeing you, then message me. Okay, I'm seeing a hand from Theo, and then AJ, and then Isaac. So Theo.
In our group, we discussed a few different sensitivities to have. The first is that going into the coldest part of fall and winter, we're not sure how popular such a proposal would be. The second one is that Calvin already has a very robust outdoor rec department, which is already putting on a lot of good projects such as yoga and the Zumba classes and stuff, which, and putting out another class just with Senate's approval seems like it might be a bit redundant. And then I think that's mostly what we discussed. Someone else can chime in if I missed something.
Also, and then great. AJ.
I agree. One of my comments was similar to Theo's. I don't remember his name, but I know last year there was already a group that every like Friday night would have dance lessons. They would bring in different instructors from different styles and you could just go in, it was walk-in. So it seems very similar and I'm pretty sure they didn't pay for them. They would like invite people and they would come. So if they did go through this, I would suggest the Senate team try and reach out to them, find the name and not like cover the same ground, try and partner with them because I don't think they used a ton of money. So it'd be much more efficient to partner alongside them.
Cool. Isaac?
Yeah, so
Wait.
my main concern, oh, which Isaac?
No, it's you. I don't know. Someone want to mute themselves maybe? There might be background. Anyways, Isaac, floor is yours again.
Okay, my main concern with this is that I think during the retreat, we talked about what does Senate do best and what is Senate most efficient at doing. And I think though I love this idea and I love the outdoor programs and the yoga and the dance guild and everything, I think that maybe Student Senate is not best equipped to take this on. And I think that I think Theo mentioned that Calvin already has a really robust outdoor education department that is already putting on similar activities. So that's my main concern with this idea. I just don't want to squander the resources and time that we have on something that is maybe already being done.
Awesome, thank you for sharing. So now I'm gonna take a vote if we are ready to vote. If you are ready to vote at this point, just raise your hand. If you are not, then obviously don't raise your hand and then we will table it. But all in favor of moving to voting, please raise your hand. Emmanuel, can you help me count?
Yeah, we have a majority.
We have a majority. Okay, so is there a proposal on the floor to accept the motion? Or I can let Team Jesse, or I guess not Team Jesse, Jesse or Sarah motion.
I'd like to make a motion that Student Senate allows Team Rye to allocate time to look into outdoor fitness opportunities for campus.
Is there a second on the floor?
Second.
Perfect. So we will now move by hand vote. So all in favor of allowing Team Rye to pursue outdoor rec options on campus, please raise your hand. Emmanuel, you good?
Wow, no, man. Yeah, that is a wrong. Wait, so Isaac just came, right? I don't think Isaac.
Oh, Isaac, were you gone? He doesn't have his hand voted for yes. So I don't think he's voting yes.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay, cool. And then all opposed, raise your hand.
Claire, I'm having some connection difficulties. What are we doing right now?
Oh, we're voting no. If you do not want Team Ride to vote to take on this project, raise your hand. Okay, cool. No worries about your technical issues. And then all abstentions, raise your hand. Awesome. So the vote does not carry, right, Emmanuel?
Yep, majority voted no.
Okay, the vote does not carry. I want to congratulate you guys for voting no. I know that we talked about this on our retreat, that sometimes we pursue things that aren't the best, aren't the things that we're best in the world at. And we had a really healthy disagreement, and I'm glad that we were able to do this and not just all vote yes. So give yourselves a hand. Good job. Okay. So now it's 5:10, so we're going to move on to a proposal from Andrew Burt. So I believe Emmanuel's going to share his screen, and Andrew, the floor is now yours.
All right, I first off want to say it's good to see a lot of familiar faces. That's good. And then I'm just going to explain the event real quick in case you didn't get to read the thing that I sent to Emmanuel. Basically, I'm a STEM ambassador along with Anna Gibney, and our job is just to recruit, retain, and build community within this, the STEM departments. And so our event is meant to build community within those departments. And so the Amazing Race is STEM is just it's just based off of the Amazing Race. And it's just a bunch of different stations, and everyone goes around and they have to complete all the stations first and then they win. But in order to do this, we have to have a lot of hands to just be at the stations to set stuff up or take stuff little things whether it's mixing up a Rubik's Cube or taking apart a mousetrap car. It's really small stuff. But we need people to help do that. And so my proposal is just to, for Student Senate, I guess, have volunteers to help us man those stations. All the funding and everything is done through our funds that we have. There's only 2 of us. And so we need some other people to help volunteer, to run those stations. And it'll be on October 21st. And it'll probably take 3 hours for the entire race. That's our best guess. But if we could get some help with that, that would be great.
Awesome. Okay, thank you, Andrew. It sounds like we have a pretty clear idea about what the proposal is. Just basically 3 hours, volunteers for Student Senate to take that on October 21st. So now we're gonna, Andrew, something that we're doing this year on Student Senate, or just this meeting, I guess, is doing more breakout sessions, just so people can have more small group discussions about what is going on and how different senators are feeling about proposals. So we will have 5 minutes in those breakout groups, and Emmanuel will add you to one of the breakout groups, and then after that we will have 5 minutes for questions, and then we'll do a vote. So yeah, that's what's going to go on right now, and Emmanuel will be sending us to our breakout rooms shortly.
Wait, Andrew, I'll have you join the Covenant. And Isaac, yep.
The table to vote to accept the proposal. Yeah, Theo.
I move to vote to accept the proposal.
And a second?
I second.
Second.
Perfect. Okay. And all we are going to do a hand vote now. So all in favor, please raise your hand. Okay. And then all opposed, please raise your hand.
Wait,
Oh,
so-
sorry. So sorry. I forgot.
No, you're good. So Sean actually just came. So do you mind asking?
Okay.
him
Yeah.
so-
So Sean, we're voting. If you agree to allow Student Senate to give volunteers to Andrew Burke for the STEM Amazing Race, raise your hand if you're in favor of his proposal. And keep your hand raised because Emmanuel's still counting. In general, if you see him just going like this, just keep your hand raised because he's okay, he's good. And then all opposed, raise your hand. Thank you. And then abstentions, please raise your hand. Okay, we're good. So the vote carries. Congratulations, Andrew. We have officially accepted this proposal for Student Senate. So will you be sending out like an email to or like a sign up sheet for Student Senate?
Yeah. I'll have that out later this week. So like I'll send that to either you
Emmanuel.
and yeah. And then
Great.
however you want to spread that out. So I can
Great.
give that later this week.
Great. So senators, if you are able, then you will be able to sign up. And then if you're not able, then you don't have to sign up. So that is that. Cool.
Push-ups.
Yeah.
You have to do push-ups.
What'd you say?
If they're not able to show up, they'll have to do push-ups, I guess.
Yeah.
That's the consequence.
Yeah.
A second.
Is there a motion on the table? Just kidding. Okay, perfect. Sounds good. Thank you, Andrew. Feel free to stick around. Just chill here. Next, we're gonna have a proposal, and we're gonna hear. I'm just kidding. It's a bid from Team Solomon about the data discount bid about. I think this is about the Frisbee. So yes, Sean, the floor is yours.
And I believe you're gonna share your screen, right? So I'm gonna allow you.
Oh yeah, so today Adelaide and Brandon are going to be presenting.
Okay, is anyone presenting their screen? Because I didn't receive it.
Screen.
Brandon. Okay. There you go.
Can you guys see it? Okay. So, yep. So basically it's called the data discount bid. We all proposed this. And the description of the problem is some international students are stuck at home because of, closed borders or other immigration issues brought on by, obviously COVID. And so there is currently 17 international freshmen and 150 level classmen online. And so some of these students are finding it difficult to join classes online due to the high cost of data in their home countries. So for example, I know that in some African countries, it's very hard to receive data or to purchase data because, it's very expensive out there. And just in general, just international freshmen, I know in Latin America as well, it's a similar problem where a lot of Latin American students don't have the resources to get data, thus they don't have opportunities to do classes online or do homework online. And so one of the things that could for the data description of data is just this would cause problems for them, in terms of online classes or just in general, homework that they have to do online. And so to counteract that, some people could argue that, they're technically living off campus, so technically they're not allowed to use Calvin's Calvin's Wi-Fi and Calvin's resources on campus because they don't live on campus. However, that same thing could be said for commuter students like myself, and I still use Calvin's Wi-Fi while still going to Calvin. So it's very difficult to refute that. And so that's something I just want to present, just to present two points of view. So Adelaide, if you want to take the next slide.
Yeah, thank you, Brandon. And so as Brandon explained the problem, there are international students who are stuck at home, not because they chose to be online, but because of the imposition that like the COVID-19 pandemic has given them in their countries. And so the proposed solution that we have is to set up a data discount fund. And what this basically is that we are hoping that students are able to contribute some money to it. And we're also hoping to look at like the International Student Association Committee or like the CISD to like ask how much funds they are able to contribute towards this, so that we set up like the fund, like we set up an application process that we have this amount of money, and in order to pick who is like qualified for it, say that we have a smart application process. So that's basically saying that we have this specific amount of money, apply like we have like a specific prompt saying that write an essay, like a short essay describing like your particular situation and how much you're going to need. And then we have a board that is set up to read the applications and then find out like who actually like qualifies to get this like amount of money. And then we disperse the money. We are not expecting this to be like huge sums of money, because like there's an exchange rate that helps in the sense that if there's money going out from the US to another country, it is usually like bigger in that country. And so if we send like maybe a $10 gift Visa card, then they're able to get, at least in Ghana cedis, that would be like 50 Ghana cedis, and like that can help them towards like buying data. And one thing I'd add to like that is that in other countries, like there's not Wi-Fi in their homes like we have in America. And so it's not easy for them. I have like so many examples, and I have like connections with Jane Bruin, who is the director for the CISD. And she also tells me that there's this problem that people are unable to even join classes online because the data cost is too expensive. It's so expensive for them. And so to the next slide, our next action step, Brandon, if you help me, yeah. So is that we have a meeting set up with Jane to like understand the problem more and to be able to tell how much they are even able to contribute towards this project if it happens. And so our bid is that, could you help me, Brandon? Next slide, yeah. So our bid is to allow Team Solomon to conduct more research about setting up a data discount fund to support international students who are struggling to purchase data to attend online classes. Thank you, if you have any questions.
Yeah, thank you, Adelaide, for presenting. I believe we're going to do the same thing again, actually, with the breakout rooms. However, Emmanuel, you are just finding out about this right now because I just made this decision. But Emmanuel is going to put a member of Sean's team, like a member of Team Solomon, in each of the breakout sessions so that they can disperse themselves and answer questions that you have. So it might take him a second to get that set up, but that's what we will do. And yeah, same thing, 5 minutes, ask your questions, and then we'll regroup.
Yep, just a sec.
Does anybody want to like sing happy birthday to Brandon in the meantime?
Happy birthday to you.
Yeah, I'm gonna have two people join the freshman team, two leaders from Team Solomon. But yeah, we're good.
Great, thank you, Emmanuel.
Yep. Oh, Sean, wait. Oh my goodness, wait. Oh yeah, you weren't. Yeah, I knew because you left and came back. Which team do you want to join?
I can join my team.
Pardon?
Oh, I can join.
You can join Cabna. You can join Team Rai.
Oh wait, I can.
Yeah, like as in which room do you want to go to? We have, I think. So I have Brandon in Team Rai. Do you want to join him real quickly?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, sweet.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Hope everyone had a great time.
Pretty sure right now it's just us. Claire.
I know. I said that as a joke.
Okay, making sure. All right, I guess we can use it. Adelaide, one comment I had was that it seems like I think it's very good that your next step is going to Jane Brune, because it feels like more something that would be their main project that we could potentially like partner with them. So maybe it would be good if you like brought them this idea, and if they were willing to like take on a decent amount of it, because like we've said, we don't necessarily have the manpower to do all that fundraising, but like we could potentially be backup to them if they took it on.
Sounds good. And like, I don't know though, like, is could students that get like a figure, could my team get a figure about how much like students that could potentially contribute towards it? Or it will have to get to the proposal stage first?
You would bring that to us, and then yeah, and then we would like you based on your research of like what the need is, we would do that. Anyways, the floor is open for questions.
Okay,
Yeah, there's no natural question per se. So JB, oh sorry, I overrode my part. Never mind.
No, Emmanuel, talk.
Yeah, so sorry, JB, if this is approved, will it come from the 5K then?
Well, I guess it depends on what we vote on. We really, when we vote on something, can say whether it's coming out of our budget or if it's coming out of the 5K. But right now, this proposal isn't allocating funds. It's just allocating time to research how much funds we will need.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so we have Isaac, and then we have Justice, and then cool. So we'll start there. Isaac, floor is yours. And then
yeah,
Nahum.
so this is more of a, I was telling this to my group. I just love this idea because I think it helps us represent the student body in its fullest capacity. And I think international students are a really important part of Calvin's community. And I think Calvin really values that. And I think this would really allow students to be able to realize their full potential, especially in countries where data is especially expensive or limited. I just, representing the student body is our job. And I think you guys did a fantastic job with fully representing the student body, even the ones that are not only off campus, but across the world, which I think is really amazing.
Then Justice, did you hear who else? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So in our group, we talked about having a potential student liaison, and it would be fantastic if we could get it from somebody in our Senate. I know that we have a good portion of international students here, and so I would love to see some representation on that board that would be reviewing those statements from people who are in need.
Thank you. Yeah, Adelaide, are you accepting those as, or maybe I guess it's not in a friendly amendment because it's just the bid, but yeah, just listening. And then, okay, Nahum had a question as well.
Yeah, we kind of got to this in the small group, but again, my question is not about the inclusivity of international students. It's more just from a cost perspective. If we take this to Calvin and ask them to pay for the internet, they're going to say that because international students don't have to pay for housing this year, which they would have to if they were here, they should be able to cover the costs. And while I think this is a great project, how do you guys think that you're going to tackle that question?
Adelaide, do you want to answer this?
Yeah, thank you. I think that that's a great concern. That's a great question. And one thing that I realized is that I don't know if there are international students who can back me on that, but a lot of international students come to Calvin and work towards their tuition. And we don't get access to student loans like everybody else. And so a lot of times people come to work and then are able to pay towards some of these things. And so the fact that they are not even here in the first place means that they are losing some income that they would have earned if they were here. And like Brandon said in the beginning, if people were even commuters, right, they're able to come to campus and use the library and be on campus and use the Wi-Fi, but they don't have access to that at all. And that's to their disadvantage because some of them they are literally stuck.
Brandon?
Yeah, I would just like to add to what Adelaide was saying, you know, and Taneo, to answer your question too. I don't know if this answers your question, but we explained in the small group, you know, a lot of these international students, it's quite a few of them, did not have the choice to come back because either borders were closed due to COVID, or either because their visas, they had to renew their visas because of COVID or whatever the situation was. And so a lot of them did not choose to stay at their home country. And so it would be very dubious to argue that for Calvin not to allocate these funds to international students, because what Alade was mentioning, you know, as someone who is a U.S. citizen, I don't know to the full extent of what the international, you know, experience is like, but I know because most of my close friends are international, I know that they struggle with quite a few more barriers than I do, and I'm lucky to, you know, be, you know, resident of Michigan, to have, you know, have more income, have more like money allocated towards me. But for international students, they have it they have more difficulty in that. And so Calvin it's like necessary, like saying like, even if international students were here, Calvin is losing money. And so, you know, like Calvin being able to allocate that money to international students would be not only like help for the international students, but also shows that, you know, like went back, you know, we're helping our international students because they are struggling. So
Thanks, Brandon. JB had a comment.
I think it'd be interesting to see if Calvin students would also sponsor this, rather than just going to the college to say, hey, we know you're short of cash, but could we come up with a cool campaign where it's like skip a coffee and donate $6 to help? You know, I'm sure there's Calvin students who would be willing and able to donate some form of money to this, which would be interesting.
Yeah, that's a good
Are there
idea.
any other questions or comments on the floor? So Theo and then Emmanuel.
Especially like JB's idea. Like, I know if there was a place where you could come to scan and donate 5 night bucks to help this, then I know I'd probably do it. And I know lots of other kind-hearted souls who would. And I like that.
Emmanuel?
Yeah, thank you. Actually, GB, that is a very fantastic idea. And now my question is, I mean, I understand the situation you're posing here. If you're gonna send it, you're gonna send it digitally, right? It would be like maybe online through email. Because Amika even said like maybe gift card through email. That is what like we usually do, right? And yeah. And now my question is, you'd have to work with some internet service providers, like, I don't know, for, some countries have their own like network provider, and I don't know how you go about it. Like, you know, for instance, in Ghana, we have some, I don't know, some cellular network that doesn't work in maybe Zimbabwe or like something else. And it would take further work and further research. Or what do you think? What do you guys think?
Adelaide?
Yeah, thank you. So I think that it's legitimate concerns. However, we are not going to be dealing with any internet providers. All we are doing is making that resource, that money available to them so they can use it like in their country. So like acknowledging that like it's different everywhere, just giving them like the cash or the gift card to be able to use to buy that in their country. But take all those layers away.
Oh, so like, you won't be sending any Visa. Sorry, I thought you were gonna send maybe a Visa and a Wi-Fi card, if there's something like that.
I don't know about the technology. You could help me with that. I don't think there's anything like that right now, like sharing the data. I don't think so. Yeah.
Yeah, and sorry, even to add to what Adley said, even if we face barriers in how we're going to disperse these funds, there are some common apps that flow through a lot of countries. So even if we're supposed to send like $100 to, let me just pick a country, let's say Nigeria, we can use apps such as World Remit, we can use credit unions, we'll just wave, we have resources. So I don't think that'll be a problem.
It doesn't look like there are more questions on the floor. Emmanuel has been taking minutes, so he will send like all of those proposals and like ideas that everyone just mentioned to your team. Sean, Adelaide, Brandon, Ella, I think, did I miss anyone? And then, yeah, so is there a motion on the table for voting for this bid? Looks like Adelaide.
Quick.
Emmanuel?
Yep. So we didn't actually accept and like officially accept a friendly amendment.
Okay. Wait, JB, what do we do? We just vote.
So I think we had the amendments where
Not a proposal. So
but like it's still a bid. So yeah, I guess I
Yeah,
get
so
you.
it's up to them to, if it's a bid, they can talk more about it and then come back with a proposal. We'll vote on it.
Cool. All right, so yeah, Emmanuel will send you all of the ideas and you can like look over them, reject them, accept them, whatever. And then I'll expect you coming back to us after October 15th to propose after you meet with Jane. So is there a motion on the table? I think Adelaide, you were gonna motion.
Yes. Thank you. So we are, I don't know how to say this, but then so our motion is to allow Team Salaman to conduct more research about setting up a data discount fund to support international students who are struggling to purchase data to attend online classes.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, so now we will be moving to vote, and we will vote by hand. So if you're in favor, please raise your hands now. It looks like it's unanimous except for you and I, Emmanuel. Okay, we're good. We're good. So congratulations, it passes. Good job, everyone. And, oh, by the way, I don't vote because I'm the president. I only vote to break ties. If you're wondering why I never vote, that's because I don't. Yeah, so that was our bid, and then we have a closing prayer in a few minutes, but I just wanted to open the floor for like 5 minutes. If anybody wanted to say anything, had any suggestions, or just like wanted to share anything, the floor is just going to be open, and you can just talk. I don't need to call on you. It's an open floor. So if you want to say anything, say anything.
Yep, I think I'll go if no one is willing to talk. Yeah, so all right, I was actually waiting for this moment. So I know Andrew spoke to us about volunteering for STEM, but then I think there's more volunteering coming our way, because this Saturday it is more like still planning, but then I was hoping to actually get volunteers. The office can take just six people. So I was willing to see if we could get maybe other 5 volunteers who would willing to work with me and, just clean up the office, restructure it. And then after that, we are gonna, I'm gonna set up like a cleaning schedule where you have to clean the office during your office hours. But then to kickstart the whole event, I just want like maybe 5 volunteers to, help me Saturday night, I don't know, maybe Saturday afternoon, Sunday, like whenever we decide to, just clean the office. If we have to take some stuff out, like some things are just there for, some things are just redundant. So JB said we could also even sun the table. So yeah, I could send out an email about that. But if you're willing to if you're willing to hang out with me and clean the office, I'm more than glad. We can go to Reese Lake afterwards to get some, I don't know, ice cream, watch a movie. But that is obviously not from the Senate. That is from our own packet. So yeah.
I definitely would love to, but I was wondering what time you think it would be, since like the weekend can be a little bit busy at times.
Yeah, so once I get like maybe the 5 people, we could all sit down and just decide like what time works best for us. But thank you, Jermaine.
Yeah, I can also help too.
Yeah, me too.
Wait, Uncle. Sorry. So Jermaine, Isaac, Sailor, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Justice Young too. Okay.
And then in the chat, we also have Bria, Nikki, Jesse, and Isaac. Oh wait, no, just kidding. We already said Isaac.
Well, we can only have 6 people. I don't know if there's a way to cut off volunteers.
There's not.
We'll talk. We'll obviously talk.
Never a way. Does anybody else have any other announcements for the floor, or just general concerns you wanted to bring up about our student body? Bria, I think you were going to say something.
Yeah, so when do we need to make a bid, and when can we just give a proposal? Is it only for COVID related issues?
AJ, you want to take that?
So generally speaking, you need to do a bid first, because like the proposal is that secondary level of, we have put the time and effort into this. We know this, we're ready to answer all of your questions. We know exactly what we want resource wise, time, etc., etc. So you've already put time into it. And so, like, for example, the one that we voted down today that was a bid because they hadn't really put the time. They were asking for time to allocate, and we said no before they put that time in. So it's sort of that first initial thing of, here's our idea, we want to run with this, can we run with it? And it's a time for everybody to be like, so that's a good idea, but what about this? What about this? Let's think about this before putting a bunch of time in. So bid is first just shooting ideas. Proposal is, we've already had this idea accepted from the Senate, we've taken it, done research, we're bringing it back for final proposal.
Yes, thank you. Oh yeah, jump in.
So I think the only other alternative is that if you want to put a proposal together on your own time and it doesn't come from your team, then you're welcome to do that. Or if another student has a proposal, they're welcome to do that. It's not, but if your team kind of wants to spend team time, that's when you'd put in a bid. If it's like your own personal thing and you're going to write up a proposal, that's fine to do. You just have to do a little research and have the details worked out.
Yes. Also, I want to add, you can always bring something. You can make a proposal. Like, for example, if like I am just a student who's like, wow, I am so mad at Calvin University for canceling spring break or something. Like, I'm not, but if I was, I've seen a lot of students who are, like I could email Emmanuel with a proposal, submit it, and then that would be on the agenda, and then I could talk about it and bring that to Senate. So you guys like bring your own like leadership experience, bring your like passions, and like bring things you don't want to like, you know, you want to change, because you can change things as an individual. And I want to encourage you to do those things. If you have like problems that you want to address at Calvin, we might not vote yes, but at least you know you did. So that's all I had to say. Isaac.
Yeah, so I have one question. Is it possible or feasible to present a policy or bid that would be paid for by the administration and not by Student Senate? And then is there like a way that we can propose that to the administration after passing it through Senate, or is that not like a thing?
Yeah, no, I mean, there's not like a name for it, but like it's happened before where we've like Senate has backed it and we just bring them a report and be like, okay, yes, Senate voted yes on this, we support it. So yeah. Bria, did you have your hand up as well?
Sorry, that part of the proposal, that's why we said it's not always just resources, it's an action you want Senate to take. So sometimes it is just the general support and backing that you're asking for. That is the proposal as well.
Yes, and to answer your question, Bria, yes. So I know that Pastor Mary, when she messaged me first, she wanted it to happen like that week. Like she wanted those like incentives and like wanted candy to be given that week. And because a bid, usually we need like a week to like give you guys time to research, and then you come back with a proposal. I was like, you know, Student Senate, like we can waste a lot of time just from bid to proposal. So I want to make sure that like it happened just like, I just wanted to make sure that you guys were able to like do those things in the week that it happened. Obviously it was delayed a little bit, but that is all. It's now 5:58, so I'm going to let Ella pray, but if you have any more questions or comments, feel free to email or DM somebody. Actually, just kidding, it's not Ella, it's Brandon. Brandon is going to close us in prayer today.
We goodbye our heads, close our eyes. Father, Lord, we give you thanks for having us have this meeting. Thank you for all the bids and proposals that were proposed today. And despite disagreements and agreements, we can all acknowledge that at the end of the day, we are here to better the student body and Calvin University as a whole, because it is our community, God, Father. In the name we pray, amen.
Amen. Also, I just want to say, if you guys do have questions, like I'm going to stick around for a few minutes so you can ask them. I know Justice had your hand up, so like Justice, feel free to ask your question now, but like if you have to leave, then leave. Also, Brandon, you want to say something? No, you're good. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just wondering, so to clarify, the not need for making a bid was just for the Pastor Mary project, not for any COVID related.
Correct.
project.
Yeah, it was because like, yeah, it was just for the Campus Clear project, because like she wanted it to happen literally that week, and I was like, fine, cool, we don't need freshman team to bring back like research saying that COVID is a disease that is real, you know. So yeah.
All right, thank you.
Mhm. Any other questions? Anyone just want to hang out? Watch JB drink his. JB, are you gonna say something? Celestina?
Yeah, so
Also-
I just had a remark because after our bid today, when the questions were raised, we weren't allowed to answer those questions. Was it a mistake, or are we not allowed to answer?
JB, what's the precedent for that? Do you want to, like, if you do have a response, should you like raise your hand if you are on that team? Is that a good way? Because I do apologize for that. I acknowledge like that was problematic of me, and like I was silencing voices that I should not have, and I apologize. In the future, JB, what is usually the precedent like for that?
A little harder with Zoom, I think, to get just a feel for the room. So we probably just need to figure out, the Teams has a raise your hand function, which is actually quite helpful. I don't know if there's something like that on Zoom where we could actually have people, because even for you, Claire, you can't even see all the screen sometimes. It's just hard to get a sense of like who needs to talk or what needs to talk. But basically, we're supposed to go questions through you, Claire. So if you have something to say, you basically have to get Claire's attention and say, okay, I'd like to respond to this if possible.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
particularly
we
when we're
had
not.
our hands. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
We had our hands up. I think Jessica and Sarah had their hands up. I think we
Okay,
just,
maybe,
then we'll
yeah,
case it.
because I apologize. I can't see everyone on my screen. It only shows like, I don't know, 16. So I think I mentioned like if you had your hand up, then like DM me. I don't think I had any like DMs in this, but like in the future, if I'm like ignoring you, you can say like, hey, I'd like to respond to someone's question, and like if you send that in private message, it'll show up because I get notifications for the private messages in the chat.
All right. Yeah.
And that is totally on
Wait.
me too. I'm supposed to be also looking around and also checking, for hand raise and stuff. That is totally on me, and I sincerely apologize for that. So in the nearby future, please, I don't know if you call me or something. We have to bring it back to answer, so you can answer. So we are deeply sorry for that.
Yeah, and then it looks like Jesse and Brandon also had something to say.
Yeah, so all I was gonna say is just like, I was gonna mention what Celestina said, that we were raising our hands, and I guess I definitely should have messaged you in the future. I definitely will. I actually like wrote out a list of all of our responses that we would have for all of those questions. I don't know if there's any way to like nullify the vote that happened, but I feel like since we weren't able to answer those questions and explain our project fully, just that like it didn't really make sense. I don't know. And I feel like we definitely should have made that clear, like pushed more for being able to answer those questions. But I think we just got a little bit confused with how fast it went to the vote for that. But I don't know what you think the best option would be for that. I guess our team would ask to nullify that vote, but if that's not possible, then we understand that as well.
Yeah, I was confused with the time because there was like a mistake in the agenda. So like Emmanuel and I do apologize for that. We like, I did not see the mistake in the agenda of the time. So like in the future, I will do a better job knowing how much time we have for things and making that clear to everyone. JB, what's the process for nullifying a vote? You're muted.
So it's really probably not a great thing to nullify a vote. We probably just have to bring it back as a second proposal based on whatever circumstances we want to for a revote. So there isn't really a process for nullifying a vote that already took place. It would almost be revoting with new information that you'd want the Senate to consider.
That's totally fine. Like I didn't know the right terminology, so.
No, that's fine. JB, wait, Claire has the power to call an emergency meeting, right?
Yeah, I do. I can call a meeting tomorrow, like at like 9 p.m. or something. And we could just revote, because I don't want you guys to like have to wait another week, because that's another week without it going by. So yeah, does that sound?
The other
Like
thing
it
is
would
to
be-
write out something and vote via online, like rather than have a meeting is
Yeah.
that, you know, this is only a bid, so it's not a proposal. So I couldn't see a reason for saying because of, you know, whatever process was not fully, you know, we want to resubmit this as a revote and you have till Wednesday to vote on it or something like that.
Right.
I think it could be an online vote rather than try to get everyone together at the same time.
Yeah, Emmanuel, does that, or first of all, Jesse, like, and Telsina, like, does that sound good to you guys?
That sounds great. I can always like write up the responses by tonight. And like send those if you would want me to send those to you or
Me and Emmanuel, you can send it to us.
yeah, absolutely. Thank you. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, and we do apologize for the the lack of structure, which just silenced voices. That's never our intention, but thank you for letting us know, and we will definitely make changes to make it better. So thank you for letting us know. Yeah.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
Yeah. And Brandon, did you also have your hand up?
Yeah, I just want to